made a positive change and impact in the women's game of cricket in Namibia. However, the dream doesn't stop there. With their continued support and backing for another 2 years, we as the Capricorn Eagles promise to keep climbing and working ourselves up in the ranks. One way of doing this is making sure our foundation is strong and stable. And Capricorn once again heard the call, becoming a huge asset in our pipeline development as they become, as from this year, our under-19 girls naming sponsor, ensuring that change and growth happens from the grassroots levels. So in conclusion, thank you Capricorn Group for taking a gamble on a few girls and women with dreams bigger than themselves. Thank you for backing women's cricket in Namibia and for entrusting us with your name and reputation. As we continue to swing this bat together, one boundary at a time.
Well, it seems like a beautiful relationship between Capricorn and Cricket Namibia is to continue, and we are very excited for that. Looking forward to our next item, we move over to the spotlight as we look at the clash of the Saints, and that will be up next after the break. Well, today is day 2 of the clash of the Saints that's happening between St. Paul's and St. George's. They had a few but a few sports taking place at the event. On the first day, we had some volleyball, not volleyball, but some netball action and some hockey action. Today, we look forward to volleyball and basketball, exciting times. And then tomorrow they have the final game, which is the football game between St. George's and St. Paul's. Let's have a look at the highlights from the first day with the netball and the hockey.
Welcome viewers, and we are bringing you this highlights package. We're coming to you all the way from the David Trusco Hockey Stadium, and it is the clash of the Saints. The action started quite rapidly with the boys taking on each other, and the score finished 1-1 at the end of the day. St. George's opening the score and hitting the back of the net, and then St. Paul's equalizing. And a well-deserved 1-1 draw. As we said, the action was fast and furious. Both sides giving their best, and they're all in this game. And it finished 1-1 for the two sides involved. St. Paul's against St. George's, clash of the Saints. Then we moved on to the ladies' game, and it was actually one-sided affair. With St. Paul's, the league defending champions, stamping the authority from the onset and scoring 5 goals. There's the first goal the first of the 5 goals that were scored in this encounter. Clash of the Saints between St. Paul's and St. George's. St. Paul's stamping their authority and winning this one with 5 goals to 0 by St. George's. St. Paul's really built up well, and at halftime the score was 3-0 in favor of St. Paul's. And I think St. George's gave their best, but their best wasn't good enough. St. Paul's standing the ground, defending, and making use of the chances that came their way, and then hitting the back of the net on 5 occasions, 3 times in the first half, and another 2 goals scored in the second half by St. Paul's, and they ran out comfortable victors with 5 goals to 0 in the Clash of the Saints 2024.
Right, it is of course here the inaugural Clash of the Saints. St. George's takes on St. Paul's. Of course, today we will be looking at some action when it comes to under 17 netball. Now, this is of course a long coming rivalry, and as you can see on your screens there, our first quarter started off with an interesting game there. Of course, St. Paul's takes on St. George's. We see there St. Paul's managing to shoot that goal. Over to St. Paul's, of course, we see there, over to St. George's, we see there St. George's is in possession of the ball. Over to St. Paul's. Once again, St. Paul's coming in victorious. They attempting to shoot that goal, but our goal, there you take a look at the GS from St. Paul's, who was actually, from St. George's, who was actually very pivotal in today's game. Her name is Tuno Hole. An exceptional player. Every time she got that ball, she ensured to shoot it. Beautiful first half we had there between St. Paul's and St. George's. Of course, we see again there St. Paul's shooting. And once again, Tuna is in possession of the ball, and it is a goal. That was the scores for the first half. We saw St. George's coming in at 8. And for St. Paul's, we saw a 2 victory there over, loss there in the first half. However, when we went over to the second half, we saw St. Paul's coming in quite strong, attempting to come and sweep over that victory onto their side. As you can see there, for this half, they were mainly in possession of the ball, attempting to shoot goals as much as possible. You see there, their GA is attempting, and she has gotten the victory she was looking for. Back to center. However, we see St. George's Tuna once again there. I think this was the third quarter, and every time Tuna got that ball, she ensured that it was inside. They made sure that they wanted to, of course, get this first victory between St. Paul's and St. George's within this rivalry that has been long coming. Of course, there once again we see St. George's is in possession of the ball. Over to the center over to the GA over to the GS Tuna, and she attempts to shoot. Yebo, beautifully done there by the GS from St. George's. Back to center. Now, of course, this was the final quarter. We see there Tuna, it started off with Tuna shooting there, of course, once again. Wing attack over to goal attack, and then from goal attack attempting to shoot. GS center back to GS. And goal is in, of course. Now back to the center once again. Now we see, I think here, St. George's was in possession of the ball. Back to GA. From GA, I think she lost control a bit of the ball there. Stepping, as they would say. And I think this was the end of the game here. We saw St. George's beating St. Paul's with a whopping 19 points to 4. An exceptional inaugural game that was, of course, St. George's ensuring to create history with the biggest win for the under-17 netball with the Clash of the Saints. However, let's take a listen to what the captains had to say. Has just losing the under-17 netball clash. Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Hi, I'm Teresa Bekus.
All right, Carissa, tell us, how did you guys prepare for this game?
We've been practicing since the start of the year, and we started playing some practice matches as well over at RTS. But yeah, it's an unfortunate result.
I mean, this is not the end of the world. Of course, you guys are still going to meet on the battlefield. However, tell me, how are you feeling? This is the first ever Clash of the Saints. How are you feeling about that spirit?
Obviously, we wanted to win the first one, but unlucky, I guess. But definitely coming back stronger the second time.
Right, you've mentioned something very important, coming back stronger. What is it that you're looking forward to in the next game, and how are you going to prepare to ensure that you come ready?
I think communication is a big thing that we lack today, and we definitely need to work on that, and we will try to perfect that.
All right, thank you very much. We'll meet you tomorrow at the Big Brag. All right, please bring yellow ears. How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing absolutely amazing. Tell me, how are you feeling?
I'm really happy for my team. They played really well. And, we had fun, and it was a good experience.
All right, so tell me, how did you prepare for today's game?
We just motivated each other, telling each other that at least we must have fun, even if we lose or win, and that we must just enjoy, the first year of Classic of the Saints.
All right, definitely. So, as you've mentioned, it's the first year for Clash of the Saints. So, exactly, how are you feeling? I mean, you are taking the opening victory. How are you feeling about that?
It's really good to make history, Yeah, that's all I can say. I really had fun, and I hope we can continue to do it over the next years,
All right, definitely. I'm catching you tomorrow at the Big Brag, right? All right, please bring all the gears, bring alles. I want to see who is going to be better joyful tomorrow. Alrighty, you have heard it there from the netball captain from St. George's. I'm coming to you live from St. George's for the first ever Clash of the Saints, St. Paul's versus St. George's. Everything is going down tomorrow. We will be back, of course, with a Big Brag, mixed volleyball as well as basketball. All I can say is I am ecstatic, and I'm really, really excited to see all the sporting action that will be brought forth.
Olympics happening in France. Very unfortunate for Namibia with Alex Miller, who was the first participant we had at this year's Olympics, who couldn't finish his race as he had a broken fracture. Very unfortunate for him with a burst tire as well, so he couldn't finish his race. Speedy recovery to him, and we are sure he will make it to the next Olympics 4 years from now. He is only 23, so he still has a bright future in front of him. Well, let's take a look at some of the stats from 2012. This is for Namibia at the Olympics. Starting off with athletics, 400 meters. We have Herunja, who came 53rd by the looks of things. In the marathon, we have Valalia Johannes, who finished 11th. She will be representing us again this year. And then we have Nairambo, who finished 37th in the marathon as well. Looking at the boxing, bantamweight, Jonas Mateus 17th. Middleweight, we have Kasuto, who finished 8th, while in the mountain biking cross country, Mark Bassingweight finished 26th. And then with cycling individual, we have Dan Craven, who didn't finish. Shooting, we have Trap Gabby Arends, who finished 22nd. And in wrestling, featherweight, we have Natale Shilimela, who finished 49th. Those are just some of the stats from 2012. Well, I am still very eager and excited and optimistic that we might get good results from the Olympics. We still have Farah Luza, who's still left in the competition, that's also doing some mountain biking, or I think road racing. We have Philip Seidler, who will be doing the 10-kilometer swimming. And then we also have Helalia Johannes, who will conclude the Olympics for Namibia. Well, Ari Ochad is on standby with international news, so please stay tuned.
From the day you were born and welcomed until your pensioner years on this earth, your life is filled with changes and phases. What mattered the most at age 10 may be an unknown memory at 25. The heartbreak at 16 may be replaced with wedding bells at 27. The degree you've always wanted or starting your career business may come true at age 30. And the dream to own your own home may come to realization at age 50. Whatever stage you find yourself in, whatever matters right now, Standard Bank has what you need to bank like you. Choose your own path. Choose endless possibilities. Standard Bank, it can be.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and it is the Olympic Games that continue in Paris in France. And good news for Africa, the first medal for Africa is Tatiana Smith of South Africa. She won gold in the 100-meter breaststroke swimming. Great performance by her, and she also won gold and silver in Tokyo 4 years ago. Also another medal that is for Southern African interest is in the cross-country mountain biking. It is South African Alan Hatherbury, and he came in third for bronze medal, and the winner there was Tom Piddock of Great Britain. Unfortunately, not a good race for Namibian Alex Miller. He had a fall on his third lap and he hurt his hand. There's a fracture on his hand, so he couldn't complete. Also interesting news coming from the Olympic Games, a bit of concerning news actually, is Great Britain's Adam Peaty. He tested positive for COVID-19 just one day after achieving a silver medal in the 100-meter breaststroke. So that there's attention now from organisers regarding the positive COVID-19 test. Also in hockey, it was the South African team that almost got the better of Argentina. They were leading late in the game 2-1, but then quite a few goals, 3 goals in the last half for Argentina. Argentina winning that 4-2, that is in Group B. That is South Africa's second loss in their preliminary rounds. Good news also for Zimbabwe. It is Stephen Cox. He's through to the finals. He was placed third in the sculls men's semi-final. So Stephen Cox will be in the final, contesting there for a medal for Zimbabwe. Then on to archery. Also, it is still South Korea that dominates. The women won the 3-team competition. Now it is the men of South Korea that also won gold, and they beat France in the final by 5-1. In the last 10 Olympic Games, it was South Korea that won 7 of the gold medals. So it is South Korea that dominates archery, men and women at the moment. Also news from the Olympics from the triathlon is that the men's triathlon had to be postponed by 1 day, by 24 hours. That was because of pollution in the Seine River. It will now be on Wednesday. It will take place. It will after the conclusion of the women's triathlon. The men's triathlon will take place on Wednesday. And also tennis news from the Olympic Games. That's being played at Roland Garros, the iconic stadium where the French Open is also played every year. And news there, the much anticipated game between Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal. It was dominated by Novak Djokovic. He beat Rafael Nadal in the second round by 6-1 and 6-4. Better for the compatriot of Rafael Nadal of Spain, that is Carlos Alcaraz. He's one of the favourites. He beat Dylan Griekspoor of the Netherlands by 6-1 and 7-6. That's also in the second round. And on the women's side of the Olympic draw, it is number 1 seed Iga Swiatek, and she beat Diane Parry of France. She beat by 6-1 and 6-1. And also good result for Coco Gauff of the USA. She's also through to the next round. Closing off today's international sports news, it is not Olympic news but Formula 1 news. It is news from the Williams team. They confirmed that Carlos Sainz, he signed for Williams. Carlos Sainz will race for Ferrari this year for the last time, but from 2025 he will race for Williams. It is Sainz that is replaced by Lewis Hamilton to race for Ferrari in 2025. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
represents Namibia